Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, YouTubers. I have an article that was sent to me like 29 times today, so I'm going to take my time and read it to you guys. I want you guys to comment below because this channel is built off commentary, not my ugly mug, and my poor reading skills. So this article was sent to me by a lot of people asking for me to weigh in on what's going on. So I'd like to know from you guys, what is happening? Canadian government wants 310,000 immigrants in 2018, 340,000 a year by 2020. Now, I want to know what you guys think. So the federal government is aiming to bring in a total of 310,000 newcomers to Canada in 2018. It was revealed on Wednesday, with increases every year thereafter until 2020. The plan reflects a new multi-year approach to immigration planning that experts say will allow for better preparation and integration. By 2020, the yearly total will hit 340 large. Then it says, everyone has been of the opinion we need more workers, we need more skilled workers, we need more people to power our economy. Addresses our real skills shortages, addresses our real labor market shortages, and also addresses the regional nature of some of these requirements, Immigration Minister Ahmed Hussein said on Wednesday. So we've listened in quotations. The total for 2018 will still represent less than 1% of Canada's overall population. The greatest number of immigrants welcomed to the country single year remains just over 400,000, a record set in 1913. That's around World War I, when a majority of Europeans came to Canada. The economic class, which includes people like caregivers, skilled laborers, and professionals, is expected to continue to make up the biggest chunk, followed by family class, parents, grandparents, children, then refugees, and other humanitarian cases. In 2017, the goal was to bring 300,000 new permanent residents to Canada, with nearly 58% from the economic class. The family class made up about 28% of the overall target this year, while refugees and humanitarian cases accounted for another 14%. There's a video here you could watch. Hussein recently said that 300,000 arrivals per year would become the new normal for Canada, which is struggling with an aging workforce and declining birth rate. So I know you guys watch my show a lot, and you know how I feel about the declining birth rate. It's just no one could afford to have kids, and this is not the 1950s and 60s anymore, where your buying power was powerful. You would be bagging groceries in a grocery store, making 50 cents an hour, and you would pay off your mortgage in 4 years. I'm not kidding you. So things have changed big time. So it's gotten to a point where the Canadian proper is having a really hard time making ends meet. And when I mean Canadian, when I say Canadian proper, I mean people that have come. I'm an immigrant, so all my parents, my whole family's immigrants. My wife's an immigrant. Basically, all the people that came to make Canada a better country, pay taxes, to send their kids to school, and all that stuff, all that jazz. So that's what I mean by Canadian proper. Everybody here that's contributing to the country, that's contributing to the infrastructure. The number of working age Canadians for every senior citizen is expected to drop from 4.2 in 2015 to 2.7 in 2030, according to the Department of Finance. Still, short recommendations. Just over 2 years ago, the federal government's Economic Advisory Council, a group of external experts advising Financial Minister Bill Monroe, unveiled a series of recommendations that presented possible solutions, one of which was a boost immigration levels by 50% from 300,000 to 450,000 people annually over the following 5 years. The authors of recent report of the Conference Board of Canada, however, argued that while 450,000 is both necessary and achievable, only hitting the number by 2025 would be the best, given low probability that the federal government will have operational capacity to ramp up immigration quickly. I'm just making sure this thing's recording here. Okay, the Conservative opposition, meanwhile, already has serious concerns about the target for 2018. Chief among them in Canada, ability to settle and integrate the new arrivals, said constructive immigration critic Michelle Rempel, especially given the influx of people crossing the Canadian-US border irregularly over the winter and spring and summer. Those refugees are processed in a separate stream from those applying for asylum from overseas and make up only a small fraction of the overall immigration numbers. But Rempel noted that wait times at the Immigration and Refugee Board, which determines who is eligible to make a refugee claim, have lengthened considerably, and the system is severely backlogged. The Prime Minister has no plan to support the integration of tens of thousands of refugees, Rempel said during a question of period on Tuesday. He's also creating massive wait times for everyone else who is trying to enter Canada by playing by the rules. So I want you guys to weigh in on this, because I don't want to get my channel flagged, because anyone with opinion now basically gets shut down. So this goes back to this article that I bring up quite a few times. So if they're asking here, so how many deals do they have going on? We don't know, right? So it could be immigration in Canada. I think it's decompartmentalized, where basically the left hand doesn't know what the right hand's doing. So this is this article here, and then you go to this article, Canada wants more Chinese workers, but this actually throws it off. It says right here, McCollum said visas have been increasing from China to about 500,000 per year. By opening more visa offices could help Canada compete for more Chinese workers, students, and lucrative tourist business. So that's 500,000 from China. But then here, 340,000 immigrants. So I'm not too sure what's happening here with these two articles. It's not making any sense. They're kind of going against each other for what they're saying here. And I want to know from you guys what you guys think about this. My thing is I'll tell you what the problem is I own a very tiny business here in the little town, and I get 2 to 3 people come by asking for a job and dropping off resumes per day. And when I was in Vancouver, I owned a big store there, a big business, and I had a lot of employees, and it was a really good thing I had going there until I sold it. And what happened was I would be receiving 1 to 12 resumes per day, sometimes 16 resumes on some good days, and I just couldn't believe some of the background some of these people had, just these phenomenal backgrounds. And I'm like, why do you want to work in a game store? I don't have a problem with you working if you're a good person, right? Education, it's your soul that matters. Education doesn't define your soul and who you are and how people see you, right? Education doesn't mean anything when it comes to who you really are inside, right? But my opinion is on this was I just couldn't fathom how many people couldn't get jobs. And like, there was one guy that was a really good animator, artist and all that, and he was delivering pizzas on the side for like 5-6 years, really trying to find a job. And then now he got a job at Sears, and then Sears shut down. So I just don't understand. If we bring in more, but if we don't have the job, the problem is if some of the people die off, the older people will die off. I'm going to die off too. I'm turning 40 in a few days, right? And all of us are going to kick the bucket one day. But my main thing is, wouldn't that be a good thing? So that creates more room in the workforce for the people to get employed so they could afford to have kids, right? It's always this backward system that doesn't, that you're always looking at from the front end, but when you start looking at things from the back end, because as a small business owner like myself, I see things from the back end, right? I haven't worked for an employer in so many years. I think it's, I don't even know how many years anymore. So I want to know what you guys think about this in the comment section. It means a lot to me when you comment some good criticism or constructive or arguments. It's really good that we could create this dialogue until my channel gets closed down. I already got my strikes removed because I appealed them, and yeah, I want to know, you know, like, where is Canada headed in your opinion? Where is it going? Are we that desperate to have more people come in? Is Canada in desperate need of more people to come in to fill the jobs, to fill the labor force and the tech force, the engineer? There's so many civil engineers applying at my store for employment. What are you? Oh, I'm a civil engineer. I'm like, okay, and I'm like, just, you know, like, you know, I had one kid tell me, oh man, I wish I had your language skills. I'm like, what's up? He's like, oh man, I was offered a job in Mexico, but I needed to speak Spanish because the sites where we're going to be working on speak Spanish. I'm like, oh, sorry to hear that. And I was offered a job in Sao Paulo, but they was asking if I could speak Portuguese, and I couldn't. So maybe people should learn more French. But anyways, I don't know, guys. This was sent to me, and I'm gonna look this over really quick with you guys. It's by the IMMI group. It's a group that does top immigration friendly countries. So these are countries. India. So if you want to immigrate to India, it's one of the top 10 friendly immigration countries. And what do you know about India? And then immigration population to India by country of origin. India has received 5 million immigrants. The first immigration, first #1 immigrants in India are people from Bangladesh, followed by Pakistan, then Nepal, Sri Lanka, Myanmar, China, Malaysia, United Arab Emirates, Afghanistan, and Bhutan. Bhutan? Is that Bhutan? Okay. Then Australia is #9, very opening country. I actually applied when I was young, when I was like 26, 25, when I was young, to livein-australia.com, and I was approved. And then the situation was I couldn't go. There was something that happened, right? And I couldn't leave to Australia. Immigrant population of Australia by countries of origin, 5,022,000. And United Kingdom is 21%. New Zealand, 8%. China, 5%. Italy, 4%. Wow. Italians are out in Australia. I didn't know that. India, 3.8%. Vietnam, Philippines, Greece, South Africa, and then Germany. And then you have France. Hope you guys practiced your French in school, because I can't speak a lick of French. Luckily, when I meet a French person and we're talking, and they're like, oh, I'm so lucky I speak French. I'm like, good for you. And then they're like, well, you know, it's so similar to Spanish and I could get around. I'm like, qué bueno. Mira, yo necesito platicar con ustedes porque vamos a hablar de cosas que está pasando en tu país y las guerras. No sé qué está pasando, mas mira que está haciendo lo pinche gobierno en este país. Está limpiando, no sé qué es. And then they just walk away from me like I never talked to them. So anyways, immigrants by France. Immigrants going into France. Algeria is #1. Morocco, Portugal. Lots of ties between Portugal and France over the last 7 years. Italy, Spain, and Tunisia, Turkey, United Kingdom, Germany, and Belgium. #7 is Spain. Romania, Morocco, Ecuador, United Kingdom, Colombia, Argentina, Bolivia, Alemania, France, and Peru. And then the United Kingdom is #6 on the list. And India, #1, 9.46%. Poland, then Pakistan, Ireland, Germany, South Africa, Bangladesh, United States of America, Jamaica, and Kenya. #5 is Canada. Immigration population of Canada by country of origin, 7,202,000 immigrants. It says here the first one is the United Kingdom, 9.37% of that 7 million. That's so bizarre because all the people I know from the UK were either deported or moved back because they couldn't make ends meet in Canada. Like a lot of my friends were deported, like that owned landscaping companies. I don't want to mention his name. A couple other good friends that I had from Ireland and Scotland were deported, and they weren't allowed to renew their visas, so they went back to. I don't know. Okay, fine. Then China 7.55%. Then India 7.1%. Philippines 4.9%. That's my wife's country. Italy 4.8%, and then the United States of America at 4%. Then Hong Kong 3%. Germany, Poland, and then Vietnam. It's Vietnam, not Vietnam. All right. Then Saudi Arabia is number 4. Immigrants population of Saudi Arabia by country of origin, 7,288,900 immigrants. First starts, we'll kick off with India at 19.93%, Pakistan 13.8%, Egypt 13.8%, Yemen 12.7, 12.2%, Philippines, wow, 7.6%, Bangladesh 6%, Sri Lanka 5%, Sudan 3.8%, Indonesia 3.8%, and Jordan 2.36%. And then Alemania, Germany. Immigrants of population of Germany by country of origin, 10,758,000 immigrants. First country is Turkey, 25%. Whoa! That just blew me away. Turkey, followed by Italy, 7.8%, Poland 5.7%, Greece 4.3%, Croatia 3.3%, Russia 2.7%, Austria 2.6%, Bosnia 2.3%, Netherlands 1.9%, and Ukraine 1.8%. And then Russia is the second most friendliest immigration country. Ukraine number 1, of course, 29.72%. Kazakhstan, of course, 21.58%. These are former states of the Soviet Union. Belarus 7.8% again. Uzbekistan 7.6%. Azerbaijan 7%. Georgia 5%. Armenia 4%. Kyrgyzstan 3.8%. Tajikistan 3.2%. And Moldova 2.32%. And number 1, the United States of America. And that is 42,788,000. I tried to be one of those people, but I was declined. I did all my research. I got a big company to sponsor me down there. I was going to be a technical director for 2 major production facilities down there because I speak Spanish, Portuguese, and English, and I wasn't given I did everything. What they did was, for me to move down there, I had to make sure I wasn't stealing an American's job, so we had to run ads in 3 newspapers and 4 ads digitally on Job Shark and stuff to see who applies for the jobs and to make sure I'm not stealing an American's job. And then when I passed that phase, I did a couple other phases through immigration. I got everything done, all the paperwork and everything got done, and then that's it. I went to the interview and they said, well, we'll let you know. And then I called back and they pretty much gave me the runaround and I was pretty much declined. So, oh well, I tried. I mean, I did everything by the book. I waited 5 years. I did everything by the book. I paid a lawyer $5,000. It's a long story, but I did it by the book, right? So, now here it goes. Mexico, 27.19%. China, wow, China's in second. I would have thought Canada would have been up there because it's right on the border, right? And all the nurses are moving down there. China 4.4%, Philippines 4%, India 3.87%, Puerto Rico 3.8%. But Puerto Rico is a territory of the United States, so it's kind of, I don't know if you should count that in there. Vietnam 2.7%, El Salvador 2.6%, South Korea 2.4%, Cuba 2.32%, and then Canada 1.95%. It's very interesting how Canada's the last one on the list. So I wanted to put this out there for you guys. Let's just talk in the comment section. I'm not allowed to really say anything anymore in some of my videos, so I just want to know what you guys think and how you guys want to weigh in with this and what you guys feel. Comment below and let's get talking. Thanks for watching, guys.